The Cameroon Football Federation and the Cameroon Ministry of Sports and Physical Education have been in a loggerhead since after AFCON in Ivory Coast and the sacking or the termination of the contract of the men's football team's coach, Captain Rigobert's son. That loggerhead has led to countless scenarios, countless challenges, and to some extent has even divided the nation. Those supporting Samuel Eto'O and Fecafoot, and those supporting the minister and his team, especially with the appointment of the new head coach, Marc Brice from Belgium, without the knowledge and consultation of the Cameroon Football Federation. That loggerhead has led to a lot that even had the intervention of the Prime Minister, the CAF, FIFA itself, and some underground discussions. Then, on Sunday, we started seeing some improvement, in which many people hoped it was going to be, in fact, the end of the tunnel. And that end of the tunnel yielded fruit yesterday with the appointment, the official appointment of the staff that will take care of the senior men football team. The staff that will work with the head coach, Marc Brice, and manage the football federation, the football team. Can we say that decision was for the best interest of the Cameroon's football team? That is a question. And today, we're going to look at that keenly as we discuss on today's session of Afrique Marche. Good day once more and welcome to today's session of Afrique Marche. In today's session of Afrique Marche, we're going to talk about a little bit about Cameroon football and the decision yesterday that came out, the appointment of the staff that will handle the football team for the next 2 years, I think. If you're new on our channel, please do subscribe and keep following so that we can keep bringing news, content, and everything that can help us as far as we are Africans. If I ask you who is this, you will know. Especially if you're a Cameroonian and a lover of football. And if I ask you who is this, you will still know. Because these two people have been at the center of football since the last Nations Cup that was played in Ivory Coast. A lot of tussle. And then Sunday, we saw them closely doing things during the finals of the Cameroon National Cup. And as if enough was not enough, yesterday, Monday, they jointly agreed to have a unified team for the national football team. But the question is this decision for the interest of Cameroon football, or this decision is a decision to keep everybody happy? We'll look at that deeply and then we'll make our conclusion. Before we move forward, I would like you to look at the team that has been selected. Remember, an 18-man team In fact, we have a team of 23 football players and being managed by 18 men chosen by both Fecafoot and the Ministry of Sports. Many people have been asking this question: how do you have 18 people to manage 23 people? It's as if every player was to have his or her own. In fact, every player was to have his own manager. Does that really make sense? Is it not some sort of just having people around you without them actually contributing to the growth of the team and the good of the team? Before we go deep into this, let us look at the organization of football. Actually, there is no defining rule as to how many people should make up the management staff of the national football team. And from our record and research, sometimes it is very difficult to ascertain how many people are in the management team of a football, the national football team. You can only do that in the case of professional football clubs like Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, because that one is purely business. But you know, with national federation, there is usually a lot of politics involved. And you know, when politics is involved, appointments are given to make people happy, to keep people happy, because you supported me yesterday and today I'm in power, so I give you an appointment. But it is believed that a national team can have from 10 to 40 people that can manage the team, because it has to do with a handful of people that make the team to work. Because the football is not just on the pitch, a lot is happening around. And we may be asking the question as to why is it that you have 23 players and you have 18 people managing them. I think the issue here is not the number. The issue here is what they are to do. Because it is just like in a company. The problem is not the number of people you have in the company. The problem is what they are actually doing. If you have 5 people and only 2 people are working, then there is no need to have 5 people. But if you have 5 people and 5 people are really putting their best for the company to grow, then you won't complain that you have many people. So the question as to why people are saying that the people are, in fact, there are more staffs, is actually because of their responsibility. Because, as I'm showing you now on the screen, if you look keenly at the appointment, you will see that it is much more of a joking kind of thing. Because why will you have first coach, second coach, and then you have about how many you have? First assistant, second assistant, and then you have assistant coach. In fact, the question is, what are they actually doing? You have 2 assistant coaches, that is Idris Carlos Kameni and Alium Buka, who are to take care of goalkeepers. Why do we need 2 people there? That's a question. And then you start asking yourself, and you have one physical trainer, and you have you have supervisor analyst. So you see, if you look at the list completely, you understand that there's some joke on this thing, and which I think that the Cameroonian Football Federation and the Ministry of Sports are bigger than this. And that leads us to the question of tout ça pour ça. Because at the end of the day, what have they done? Remember, there was an issue between the team from the federation and the team from the ministry. So what they have actually done now is they brought the two teams together to work. But the question is, how are you helping the football to grow? So the decision that was taken yesterday by the Fecafoot and the Ministry of Sports is not a football decision. It is a political decision. And that decision is entirely meant to satisfy political interest and not for the good of football. You ask me, do I expect anything good from them? No, I don't. Nothing good can come from a house that lacks good foundation. When a house lacks good foundation, you can't expect anything good from that house. You can't have a team with more than 4 assistant coaches. In France, for example, we have just 1 assistant coach. In England, the same thing. In Belgium and other teams. Why should we have Martin Tungu Pile, Pagu David, Joachim Monga, François Oman-Biik? Listen, 4 assistant coaches for a team. So a team that is being coached by 5, even the biggest boat ship in the world has but 1 captain. In our own, we have 5 coaches: Mark Brice, Joachim Munga, François Oman-Biik, Tungu Pile, Martin, and David Pagu. The coach what? The question is, now what will happen is that the fighting will still continue. So many people who feel that things are going to die down. They are not going to die down. What they did was just to show to the world that what happened on Sunday wasn't a masquerade, but it is, because the right thing would have simply been for the minister not to appoint his own team and allow Fecafoot to do what Fecafoot was supposed to do. It's shameful that in a country like Cameroon, we should be talking about this kind of thing, where we have intellectuals who go to school to waste time and can't even allow simple principles to work. It is sad. Sad indeed.